everyone! Welcome to my bedroom. It is currently almost midnight, and instead of being asleep, I want to make this video because I have this topic that has been like swirling in my brain that I feel like I just have to get out. So I hope that this helps you. Okay, ready, go! I feel like girls do this thing where we really like a guy, and because we really like him, we make crazy excuses for him and his behavior. So I want to talk about how you know if your boyfriend is a jerk, is he nice, is he who you think he is, how do you know if you should break up with him, you feel like you might be spinning your wheels, what the heck do you do? One of the things that I can flash back on is in a serious relationship that I was in, I felt like this guy was like everything. He was the best and super cute, and I was so confused when everyone around me was like, ugh, no, run away. And I'm like, but why? And what I wasn't realizing was how distraught I was. Like, I was miserable, but then the whole time being like, but he's awesome. So one time, actually this was multiple times unfortunately, but one time, was in my kitchen with my mom, we're just talking, and all of a sudden I like break down in tears, and I'm just like laugh crying, and she's like, what is wrong with you? What is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I literally don't know. And then the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, wait, I don't think I even like my boyfriend. I actually think I kind of hate him. He's really mean. Hello. And when we broke up, that's like this revelation that I had 3.5 years in, like, wow, you're actually really mean. But why didn't I see that anywhere along the span of 3 years? Well, here's my thought, and hopefully this will help you guys. So I feel, one, like I truly believed that I could change him or save him, whatever it was. 2, I think I wasn't taking his actions seriously, either making the excuse of, well, that's just him, or yeah, but he doesn't treat me that way. And let me just tell you, if the guy that you're with, if the only person he's truly like kind to is you, that is something that you have to take seriously and you have to actually look at. He doesn't have to put on that act to the guys in the locker room, to his teammates, probably even to his family, but it's actually not hard for a guy to come hang out with you and turn that switch. We tend to set our bar oddly low, and I don't fully know why. And one of the thoughts is maybe we don't really actually care how we're treated. That could be one. 2, do we not believe that we deserve proper treatment? Do we think that maybe we have to just go along to get along in order to like keep the guy? So if we set boundaries, if we hold to our values, he'll just leave us. That could be the 3rd thing. The other thing is, honestly, to the core, everybody wants to be chosen. And so you might not actually like him as much as you think, but you might really love the idea of him. You love the fact that this guy could even possibly be interested in you. So even though he kind of sucks, you're gonna like overlook that because he's the guy that you've thought is so cute since freshman year, and he's like the guy. And so your bar just shrinks because he's the guy. If you were to look at the people that you really trust and respect in your life, and you actually value their wisdom, you know that they have solid advice, if those people are like, hey, here are the concerns that I have, it is so smart to not just blow that off as a type of like, well, nobody understands him except for me, or he's the only one that understands me, all of you people are crazy. There are people around you who love you, care about you, have your best interests in mind, and aren't going to like sabotage your relationship for no reason. The motive behind people bringing these concerns isn't so that they can date him. Probably, my guess is your mom doesn't want to date your boyfriend. That'd be weird. Your mom actually cares about you, and your mom knows you, and your mom might see a change in behavior. Your friends might be like, whoa, you're acting crazy. What is going on? Don't just blow those things off. It is so important to take the wisdom of the people around you seriously. So if all of your friends and family see something in him that you don't see in him, maybe take a deeper look, take a step back, and just give some sort of possibility to the fact that you might be missing something. And then, again, I go back to if the only person he's nice to is you, that's actually a problem. So how do you know that the version of your boyfriend that you're getting is the version of the boyfriend that everybody else is getting? You can do this little test. You can look at, the way that I would say is if you've ever been boating or tubing or jet skiing, as the boat goes, behind it, it leaves a wake. It leaves all these waves that are kind of churned up. It leaves something in its trails. And we all leave something in our trails. So as I go through my daily life, the way that I'm talking to people, the way that I am encouraging or discouraging people leaves a trail. And I'm either going to leave a trail of encouragement and life and things where people feel built up and empowered and like I'm honest and truthful, or I'm going to leave a trail of people who feel confused and broken and abused and sad and discouraged and lied to and all of these things. You get the idea. So it's the same when you look at your boyfriend, okay? If you look at how he's gone through life, what is his path of destruction or his path of encouragement? And if you look at his friends, his family, the people closest to him, his community, how does he treat them? Are the people around him built up with life, or are they like, ugh, this guy's the worst? Does he have a path of destruction behind him? Look at the fruit of his life. Does his life have fruit? So another metaphor is a tree that is healthy, and a tree that can sustain life is going to bear fruit. So, for example, a healthy apple tree grows apples. An unhealthy apple tree that has decay and that is rotting away cannot yield fruit. So it just won't. Again, this is the same way with our life. How are the people in his community when it comes to him? Is he taking good care of his relationships? Is he respecting the people around him? The way that he speaks of other girls, of his mom, of his friends, is it full of integrity and honesty and honor, or is it just vile? The way that he talks to you, do you in your heart feel like you're learning and you're growing and you are at peace and you feel encouraged and you feel valued and you're affirmed and you feel respected, okay? Or do you feel confused and violated and used and like you're constantly trying to figure out, does this guy like me? Does he not? Do you feel like you are walking on eggshells? If you're with a really jealous guy, you might feel like you have to sneak around a little bit or compromise your values or do things that you wouldn't normally do, lying to your friends, lying to your family, trying to fly under the radar. These are all things. They're not like a little red flag that's waving in the lawn, right? They're like mega red flags, and they're things that we just have to take seriously. And sometimes they're really hard because you actually like the guy and you want to be with him and you hope that it works out. But stop, take a step back, and actually evaluate, who is this guy? Is he kind? What is the fruit of his life? What is the wake of his life? Is he honest? On the topic of honesty, he might be one way with you. If you go talk to his best friend, the person that he hangs out with all the time, and you were to interview him, interrogate him about this boyfriend of yours, would you get the same version of your boyfriend from him? So is your boyfriend the same person in every pocket of his life, or is he a different guy with you, a different guy with his family, a different guy with his friends, a different guy at church, a different guy wherever he is? And if he is, take note of that. Very dangerous, because he doesn't know who he is. He's going to be shape-shifting on you. How are you supposed to follow that? Here's what breaks my heart in relationships, especially ones in middle school and high school when people tend to be kind of flailing anyway, is you tend to have girls who are fairly insecure, and things really revolve around comparison. They revolve around how you feel in your own body. Are you pretty enough? Are you skinny enough? Do boys even like you, or do they just like everybody but you? You want to be chosen. You want to be pretty. You want to be affirmed. You want to fall in with like the right social group. And so those are the things that motivate a lot of our dating behavior, rather than being rooted in wisdom, rooted in patience that you'll find the right guy, having this perspective that says, I am valuable and I am worthy and I do deserve respect and I do deserve a guy who will honor me and cherish me and care for me. That is such a higher standard that is really intimidating to pursue, because chances are you won't find a ton of guys who are willing to step up to your bar. So that can be kind of your litmus test. If you set an extremely high standard, guys will always let you down, okay? They cannot be your savior. They cannot fill in all of your gaps. If you don't feel pretty and you can't reconcile that with yourself, they can't magically make you feel like the most beautiful girl every day of your life. So the gaps that you have to be filled before you can expect this. But the test can be, if I set my bar really, really high and a guy is just like, not interested, that lets you know that he's actually not interested in doing the work that it takes to build a strong relationship. If he's not willing to even take the challenge of rising to your bar, then you probably don't want to be with him. If the initial thing that you get from a guy is physical pursuit, is him wanting to skip every single relational aspect and just like go immediately to like, hey, send me pictures, this is a problem. Because he's not wanting to know anything about your heart. He's not wanting to know anything about where your boundaries are. And most likely, the pictures that you send are not going to stay with him. So just understand this. Anyway, all this to say, we as girls have to be extra vigilant because we are very concerned about being alone. And we are very concerned about who's going to pick us, who's going to choose us, who's our future husband. All of these things that are okay desires, but then at the same time, we have to be willing to recognize when they become unhealthy, or when an ultimately good thing that you want becomes all-consuming, and therefore your vision is all clouded about it, and now all of a sudden you're like obsessed with it, and you've sacrificed everything to just get the thing that you want. So we have to be willing to say, is this guy a good guy? Like, do I even like him? If he wasn't so cute, or if I didn't want to date him so bad, would I even be his friend? You know, or if this guy was a girl who wanted to be friends with me, but acted the way that he acts, would I want to be their friend? Or if this person was my brother, would I take issue with their behavior? So you have the permission, the freedom, the right to have an expectation from somebody that you're dating, and to implement that expectation and ask them to rise to it. And if the answer to some of these questions is just a flat out no, then that's your answer. And if I were you, I would just move on, because there are great guys in this world. There are amazing guys. Believe it or not. Don't buy the lie that there's not. And you are worth a lot more than just being present and being super vulnerable to some high school boys' like physical desires, okay? So take these things into consideration. If you have any other thoughts, leave them in the comment section below. If you aren't subscribed to our channel already, do that. Thanks for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Bye!